Welcome to the Boomer Briefing podcast, where we help you solve a critical business issue in 20 minutes or less. I'm your host, Jim Boomer, CEO at BoomerConsulting, and I'm joined by a special guest today, Heather Robinson. Welcome, Heather.
Hi, Jim. Thanks for having me.
You bet. We appreciate you being on this episode of the podcast. We're doing a series to help our audience get to know our team a little better. So Heather is next up on the chopping block, and she is the marketing manager here at Boomer. And today we're going to get to know a little bit more about Heather. So let's dive in. So what I'd like to start with, maybe you can tell the audience a little bit more about yourself on the Boomer side. What do you do here at Boomer? How long have you been here? And maybe a little on the background of the story of how you found us and we found you, and you've become an amazing part of the Boomer team.
Awesome. Well, as you said, I'm the marketing manager. So for my role, I focus mainly on developing our marketing strategy and brand awareness to drive business results for us. I use a lot of digital marketing, the website, video channels, social media, producing thought leadership content. I do a lot of that. So yeah, just kind of taking leadership and strategic planning on our marketing and communication practices for Boomer. I've been here for over 7 years now. Kind of random how I found you guys. One of my office mates in the previous career I was in mentioned this job, and she said, "There's no way I could ever work from home." And I said, "I can't imagine my life not working from home. Like, I want that." And then I also found out this thing that you guys had called Fish Fridays, where you got to have a cocktail. And I was like, okay, work from home and I can have a cocktail at the end of the day on Friday. Sign me up for that. So
you had no more questions at that point.
Nope. I was going from natural and organic food marketing to accounting. Just a little bit of a difference there, but a cocktail kind of made everything better. So yeah, I was all about it.
Yeah, we're thrilled we sold you with the cocktail.
I guess I'm that easy sometimes.
Yes. Well, I know you always seem to be on. You work is a big part of your life, but that's not all that makes Heather Robinson tick. So why don't you share a little bit about what you do outside of work? What are your hobbies? Pets. I know you have one or two of those, right?
Oh, just a couple pets. I think I have 6 right now. Some of my animals are starting to age out, which is horrible to say, but very blessed to have given them lives as long as they have. I had one that just passed away not too long ago. She was 18 years old. So I love giving animals a home when they need one. So keep all strays away from me because I will decide to take it in. I have cats and a dog, and yeah, they're awesome. So that kind of takes me into my hobbies. I have restored a 1999 Jeep Wrangler. I kind of gave it a facelift, gave her new shoes. So gave her a lift and some new wheels and redid some of the interior. So, that is my dog Bob's, vehicle. So if she wants to go for a ride, she gets to take the Wrangler out. She does not get to go in my newer Jeep. She's not allowed, because she's got way too much hair. So, Bob and I like taking the Jeep out and visiting various places, going to lakes and rivers and hills, only hills in Kansas. We don't really have mountains. But we like exploring and getting her outside and kind of just exploring places, which is what I like doing. I like traveling and seeing what's going on in the world and finding unique places to visit, trails, and, if there's a brewery or a winery or a distillery, I definitely stop there along the way. Kind of ties into who I am as a person. But yeah, I like the water a lot. And yeah, that's me.
Lots of good stuff and lots in common. Both you and I are Jeep people, so my ears always perk up when you talk about your Jeep. I have myself a 1979 CJ7 that we enjoy getting out and about. We don't take it quite off-roading and out too much, but they're fun, definitely. And those
Yeah.
darn pets, we've got two of them. I can't imagine having six, but you're right. Like, that's the downside of pets is they get older and it's never an easy thing. So I'm sorry to hear about your cat.
Oh, that's okay. She was old.
Yeah.
The funny thing about her is she actually went to work with me every day. So I would talk to her in the morning and be like, all right, Harry, it's time to go to work. And she would leave the bedroom and go to the office. And I had little stairs for her. And she'd like walk up on the stairs and lay down on a pillow that I had for her. So I still had an office mate, even though I didn't work in an office anymore. So yeah, she followed me around to everywhere I went. So great little coworker while I had her.
Indeed, indeed. Well, let's talk a little bit. Let's get back to Boomer. What do you enjoy most about working at Boomer other than the remote work and cocktails on Friday?
I love our team. We've got a really amazing group of people that work at Boomer. I enjoy the uniqueness of everybody that I work with, getting to know people, getting to see what they're good at and what their knowledge is so different than what I know. We all have our very unique things we bring to the table. So getting to learn that about everybody is a lot of fun. I also love our clients. One of the big things in marketing is learning how to listen and tell other people's stories. And being on the marketing side, I get to learn so much about our clients and what they do and how they do it and how they're successful and the benefit that they then bring to their clients. So the fact that I get to tell their stories and let the world know how amazing they are is pretty darn cool.
Indeed, indeed, I agree. So, what achievement are you most proud of, whether it's personal or professional?
Oh gosh. So that is a pretty hard one. Um, well, my today's biggest achievement is that I made it to work on time. I'm proud of doing that every day. um, gosh, I don't know. I don't know if I can pinpoint it to just one thing. I feel like you have to find, achievements in every day that you go through. There's great things that happen all the time. And I truly believe that you got to take note of those things and give yourself props for what you do in the day to day. There's a lot of really cool marketing initiatives we've done at Boomer, and those are all amazing. But sometimes it's just as simple as, hey, I got my email box cleaned up today and I'm feeling pretty darn good.
Yeah, you do need to celebrate the day-to-day little wins and those all add up. But I'll feed you one. I mean, I think you should be very proud of how you've transformed the brand here at Boomer, brought us up to, sort of that look and feel and image of today rather than yesterday. I also think big kudos just for our presence, our online presence, because I know I can't count how many conferences I've been at, and I tell, how many people we have on our team, 20, and people are like, oh my gosh, I thought you were like 200 or more, because you guys are everywhere, and that marketing drives a lot of that. So I think you should be very proud of that as well.
Thank you. Yeah, our online presence has come a long way since I started. For anybody, go to the Wayback Machine. It's like waybackmachine.com.
No, don't do that.
Google, no, they've got to Google Boomer Consulting like pre 2017 and look at the website. When I was applying for the job, I was like, oh, I probably, besides cocktails, I probably should check out like what their website looked like. And I was a little worried because it was so old and dated. Yet it was also an amazing opportunity for me to jump in and be like, yo, your website, we're going to do this. Like, this needs to happen.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
And that's part of the transformation I was alluding to. So, yeah,
oh yeah.
good job.
I'm just putting a spotlight on it. I'll let everybody in on that one.
Yes. So in terms of inspiration in your life, who's been the biggest inspiration, whether it's your personal life or career again?
Yeah, that one would have to go to my mom.
Yeah.
My mom, just an amazing person. She really taught me from a young age to challenge myself and go after what I was wanting and work hard and uh, persevere through things. So that's really helped me get to where I am now. I had a really windy road to get to be in marketing. I didn't start out in marketing, never was even on my radar as something I wanted to do. But going back to college, I randomly one year decided to quit college. I decided that I didn't want to go to school anymore. I was an athlete and got injured and wasn't able to compete anymore. And that was, in my mind, that was the whole reason I went to college. And originally I was a secondary education art major. So I was supposed to be a high school art teacher. So the art marketing, that still kind of fits, but me teaching high school students and what I do now are very, very far apart. But in that schooling, my first experience in schools was I went to a 6th grade health class. That was the first bout of student teaching I was assigned to. And you have teenager-ish age, middle school-ish age, and you know that they're a bit different. They're a lot to handle. And, going from a class in high school where you're going to teach art and the people that choose to be in that class want to be there, and a 6th grade health class where there's still a bit of immaturity, probably not a bit, there's still a lot of immaturity there and they don't want to be there. Man, I was traumatized. I was like, I do not want to teach anymore. This is not my path. I don't want to do it. So I quit school. I was like, I'm done. So I moved to Wyoming for like 6 or 7 months and was like, I'm done. And one of my girlfriends came and found me. She had went on a summer trip to do like an archaeological dig and found out I quit school. So she came and visited me and like, you have to go back to school. And I'm like, but I don't want to. And she's like, I don't care. You have to graduate college. And I'm like, okay, but I'm not going to teach. So this was back in the day when there were still course catalogs. So we like took out the K-State course catalog and like went through things to find like what most of my credits would transfer into. So I didn't lose too much of my education. So we found speech communications and I decided, okay, well, I mean, everything's communication. So I went ahead and finished out in that, having no idea what I was going to, grow up to be. Not a clue in the world. So I went back to school. I graduated because my friend Abby made me and made my dad happy. But then even after that, I think I went and managed a flower shop. And then I decided I wanted to be a massage therapist. So I quit my flower shop job and bartended my way through massage therapy school, which ultimately led me back into teaching. And then they had 0 for their marketing department. And I'm like, oh, well, I know how to do this stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's part of communication. It's communicating people, checking on them, making sure you're providing what they need. So I jumped in and started doing their marketing as well. And then after a few years, I was like, okay, I don't need to teach anymore. Because again, I mean, adult education, it's it's the same as sixth graders. Uh, but yeah, so I started just doing all their marketing and became their marketing director. And yeah, then it kind of, my path evened out a little bit there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, we're glad you took that windy path, and all the way to Wyoming. So,
oh yeah.
yeah. All right. You mentioned you like to travel. What's your favorite place that you've ever visited?
My favorite place I have ever visited. I have been quite a few places and I've loved most of them. Um, I really liked Ireland. I went there a few years back and visited Dublin, and I just really, really enjoyed my trip there. I enjoyed the vibe of it. I love getting out walking, seeing, the history and everything like that. So it was super, super cool. The food was a little bit different. And I am quite a bit of a foodie. So getting used to a completely different culture's food was a little bit different. But it was an absolutely amazing place. But I will say, for a day trip, if you're in the Midwest, Weston, Missouri is probably one of my favorite places to go. They've got a goat farm where you can go try some cheeses. They've got a couple wineries. They've got a distillery. They've got an underground bar that plays Irish music on the weekends. I really, really enjoy visiting there just for a nice, quick getaway.
Cool. Hidden gem in the Midwest here. So,
Yeah.
well, what's on your bucket list? Where have you not visited that you would really like to go?
Oh, two places. Well, no, three. We got to go three because number
Okay.
one is Iceland. I really want to go to Iceland. They've got a lot of great hikes and camping and everything like that. Amazing natural springs. I'm just, that's going to happen. It's going to happen someday. Might be on my sabbatical next year, but I haven't completely planned that one out. Number two is my family originated in Russia, which is now the Ukraine, where they are. So I would love someday in hopefully the near future, but there's lots of strife over there. So someday I would like to go see where my family came from. That's my mom's family. And then the third one is there's this trail in Alaska called the Chilkoot Trail, which is 33 miles long, and it hikes the old gold or the gold miners hike when they went for the gold rush. And I think it would be so amazing to do that hike. A little bit crazy because everything that you hike in with, you have to hike out with. So it's like 3 to 5 days of really intense hiking because obviously you're going from pretty much sea level all the way up into the mountains, which is kind of insane. But I just think it would be the most amazing thing ever to do that.
Well, I'm pretty confident that you're going to make it to all three of those places at some point here. So, well, I'm just keeping an eye on the time. So I think we're going to go to rapid fire, this or that. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, this is going to be a hard one, you being an animal person, but dogs or cats?
Cats.
All the way. Poor
All the
Bob.
way, cats. I grew
Is
up with
Bob listening?
cats. She's on the floor over here. She's probably not happy, but I got my first cat when I was 5.
Yeah.
It's
I think I
cats.
know this one. Beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would have
Well, the
picked.
mountains are so much easier to get to.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't say I don't go to a beach every year, because I do. And then all summer at the lake. But I love the weather in the
Yeah.
mountains.
Yeah. It's a tough one for me, too. Tacos or pizza?
Tacos.
Tacos. All right.
Tacos.
Um, traveling by air or by sea?
That one's hard. Can't you do both? I mean, you can fly
You
somewhere
gotta
and
pick
then get
one.
on a
This is
boat.
this or that.
Oh, sea.
I think I'd go sea too. Last one. Jim or Gary? Now, of course, I mean our team members' cats, not the people. I
Oh,
wouldn't
of
make you
course, the
choose those.
cats. So I'm going to go with the underdog and go Jim because
Yes.
I know Gary's everybody's favorite.
You're
So
my
I'll have
first
to go.
win. I got a tie, I think. But yeah. Well, this has been great, Heather. Thank you so much for your time today. And for our listeners, if you enjoyed this conversation, we release new episodes every Tuesday morning. We got to know Heather a little bit better today, but we also cover topics on talent, leadership, process, technology, and growth. What all the topics have in common is that they are crucial to your firm's success and helping you solve a critical business issue in 20 minutes or less. And I believe knowing our team better can and having that relationship can help serve you better and certainly help you solve those issues. So if you like what you heard, please subscribe and thank you so much for listening.